Have you ever seen your dog bark at someone, even if that person seems harmless? Or does your dog act suspicious around certain people while being full of love around others? Many believe that dogs have a sixth sense. But what if I told you that science has proven this? Yes, we now have real evidence. Your dog might be sensing things you can't even imagine. Want to know how? Stay until the end of this video. Subscribe to the channel to learn more about dogs and discover how your dog can identify a malicious person and what they might be trying to warn you about. Number 7. Dogs can detect a malicious person by their behavior. Imagine this scene. You're trying to open a jar with your dog by your side, and 3 people nearby react in different ways. The first person helps, the second remains indifferent, and the last openly refuses to help. You might think that your dog would accept a treat from the third person without hesitation, right? But what science has discovered is surprising. Researchers from the Journal of Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews conducted this exact experiment to understand how dogs perceive human intentions. They tested dogs' reactions in these 3 scenarios. Afterward, each person was asked to offer a treat to the dog. Many expected that the dogs would accept treats from anyone since, after all, it's food, right? But the result was surprising. Most dogs accepted the treat from the person who helped their owner. They also accepted the treat from the neutral person, but avoided the treat from the one who refused to help. It seemed like they sensed the negative behavior and chose not to trust that person. This study reinforces that dogs not only observe our actions but also judge our intentions. Number 6. Dogs can detect liars. Another study conducted in Japan carried out a similar experiment to discover if dogs can recognize someone they cannot trust. In this experiment, scientists placed 2 containers near the dogs, one containing treats and the other empty. In the first test, a person pointed to the container with the treat. The second time, another person pointed to the empty container. The dogs were excited to find the treat pointed out by the first person, but were disappointed when they realized they were deceived by the second person. Later, the second person pointed to the container with the treat again. However, this time, the dogs didn't go towards the container. They remembered that this person had been deceitful in the previous round. Number 5. Dogs remember their owner's scent forever. Dogs have an extremely complex olfactory memory and remember their owner's scent for a lifetime. The emotional association with a person's scent remains stored in the dog's memory. When a dog detects a specific scent linked to a human who brought them joy, a part of their brain is activated, and they remember the person. Even if time has passed or your appearance has changed, the dog will remember how you smelled and how important you were to them, getting excited when they see you. Studies have shown that a dog owner's scent activates pleasure centers in a dog's brain, similar to how the human brain reacts to the scent of a loved one. Other studies indicate that the longer you are away, the more excitement the dog will show upon your return. If you are not around, your dog senses that something is different and feels a certain loss of security. If a dog owner doesn't return within a certain period, the dog may eventually perceive this as a loss. Likewise, if someone mistreats a dog, the dog will remember their scent and will likely dislike being around that person. Number 4. Dogs interpret facial expressions. In an experiment conducted in Austria using touch screens, scientists tested dogs by showing them images of human mouths and eyes with happy or angry expressions. Half of the dogs received a treat when they touched the image of a happy face, while the other half were rewarded when they touched an image of an angry face. Then, the dogs were tested again with photos of happy or angry human faces they had never seen before. Yet, they could still differentiate the expressions and earn the reward by associating the expressions they had seen earlier. Dogs rewarded for clicking on positive expressions clicked on them again to get the treat, and the same happened with dogs rewarded for clicking on negative expressions. Scientists believe that the experiment proved that dogs can distinguish between human expressions. It is believed that dogs use their experiences with humans to understand these differences. An interesting finding from this study was that before the dogs learned the experiment rules with the screens, they showed a natural aversion to touching images of angry faces, indicating that our furry friends already have some understanding of the meaning of human expressions. Number 3. Dogs pick up on your emotions. The bond between a dog and its owner is deep. If your dog reacts differently to some people but not to others, It might be because they pick up on unconscious signals you transmit about those people. Even if you are friendly and welcoming to someone, your dog senses subtle signs that you are not completely comfortable. Dogs' sense of smell is about 10,000 to 100,000 times better than humans, and they notice when you are nervous because your body produces stress-related hormones and chemicals with specific odors. The most obvious would be sweat and the release of adrenaline when a person who makes you uncomfortable approaches. Your dog may sense that you are uneasy and act to protect you. Number 2, dogs can interpret body language. According to animal behavior experts, dogs pick up on every movement a dog or human makes. Whether it's a tense posture, playful behavior, or nervousness, a dog immediately understands the situation. This is because dogs rely on other dogs' body language to assess their own safety, and this behavior extends to humans as well. If a person is saying one thing but behaving differently, your dog will notice right away. That's why your dog might bark or growl at someone they believe is a threat, even if that person only has bad intentions. Number 1. Dogs can detect serious illnesses. Believe it or not, dogs can detect cancer just by smelling a person's body. A study conducted at the University of California, Davis, showed that dogs can identify cancer-affected tissues among various samples. Cancer cells have a specific odor not present in healthy cells. In the UK, there is even an organization called Medical Detection Dogs that trains dogs to detect the scent of cancer in samples such as breath, urine, and saliva. Dogs can also save the lives of people with diabetes. Diabetics need to monitor blood glucose levels, which can drop dangerously fast. A sudden drop in blood sugar releases chemicals that dogs can identify in breath or skin. The organization Dogs for Diabetics trains dogs to alert owners when glucose levels are low. Additionally, dogs' extraordinary sense of smell can prevent epileptic seizures and detect diseases like malaria and Parkinson's. Bonus: why do dogs react differently to other dogs? Your dog might bark and pull on the leash to keep another dog away, or simply lower its head and walk past. Why does this happen? Humans communicate using words, while dogs primarily use body language and scent. Your dog may bark at other dogs showing threatening signals, such as standing still, a stiff tail, a tense mouth, or a wrinkled muzzle. They can also pick up on scent signals they like or dislike, even from a distance. Who would have thought a dog could do so much? They can detect serious illnesses, understand our body language, identify malicious people, and even stop trusting us if we deceive them. So the next time your dog growls at someone, they might be picking up on something you can't see. Maybe your dog knows something you don't yet.